In France, people tend to ignore politicians' sexual escapades, or in some cases just accept them. There has been, however, an enormous reaction to Dominique Strauss-Kahn's arrest in France. And joining us this morning from Paris is author and journalist Anne-Elisabeth Moutet, who's been writing about this case. Good to have you with us this morning. Judging from the headlines here, the reaction in France, very different from what we've seen in the United States. Overall, what are people saying about this arrest?
Well, they're not all saying exactly the same thing, but they are certainly reacting first with shock and second with an element of disbelief. Third, there's not much attention being paid to the victim here. And now this is the second and third day, and we're getting to a point when there's a reaction against the sort of reflexive defense of Strauss-Kahn by his own class, politicians, powerful people. And you've got more and more people saying we should have known about his failings long before, and we should know about the failings of politicians. And even if it's private life, it's very obviously something that the public should know about. So it's a bit of a watershed. It's a bit of a... He's ushering in, he's not happy to be doing so, but he's ushering in a new era in France.
Yeah, it's really interesting the way that they are stepping back there, as you said, ushering in a new era. Do you see this really making a full-scale change, though, in France in the way politicians are regarded, and even a dalliance, if you will, or something far more serious, as we're seeing here with these charges, is regarded?
Well, first of all, Erica, in France, when somebody is powerful, they get away with, well, I won't say murder, but practically anything else. And it's turning out that Dominique Strauss-Kahn did. I cannot comment on what happened in this specific instance, but there are two perfectly believable women who told at the time of being attacked by him, perhaps not assaulted, not as brutally as what's being alleged in New York, but it was on the record, people talked about it, nothing happened to him. They both decided not to press charges because they said, I will be disbelieved and this will follow me as I'm somebody who rocks the boat, and it's not done in this country. It's the sort of the attitude that we may have had a revolution in the 18th century in France, but we still have the rulers and the ruled.
It's interesting to look at how this all plays out. A couple different things I've read. Folks who are in the Socialist Party, sort of in the camp there with Dominique Strauss-Kahn, coming out and saying, well, you know, part of the reason here is that it's a very different system in the United States. How important is it that this arrest actually happened in the United States, and that, for example, we see the perp walk, as we call it here, which wouldn't normally be seen in France?
Well, the perp walk is now illegal in France, but by and large, the police would have treated him with kid gloves if they had been brought in at all. That's the first thing. You know, chances are he's a VIP. He was upgraded in his New York hotel. The hotel people would have said, look, you know, you will be compensated to the maid. Do not press charges. That's bad for everyone concerned. And my expectation is that he would not have been brought to the police. But more generally, there's a sort of unpleasant attitude right now in France in which people are sort of becoming, you know, when everything else fails, become anti-American. And so they say the American justice is all about show trials. It's about attorneys and official judges and magistrates perpetually campaigning for re-election. It's about humiliating someone. The system is unusually cruel. Anything, you know, any kind of explanation is now suddenly given for the fact that he was shock horror treated like any other normal person suspected of a crime.
Like a normal person suspected of a crime. Anne-Elisabeth Moutet, appreciate your insight this morning. Thank you.